catching the end of the sunset, or the sun is setting, whatever. And I try to concentrate and work on my lion. Just got a couple inches, and I just can't. I I don't know how connected other people are, but I have that smoky feeling in my mouth and in my eyes. Our Lady is burning. And I know that, depending on where you're at and depending on how you perceive, I'm in awe of it. I think it's a beautiful thing. And that might be hard to conceive of. But first of all, for me, I have no attachments to buildings I've actually been in or lived in. I wouldn't want to be in a fire. But I mean, if I'm not attached to a building that I've actually been in, why would I be attached to a building that, although it's iconic, it's just so representative of everything. And I see the beauty in it. I really do. I was thinking today, that saying, we are one. And I know I said it in other videos, my first video, a lot of videos. We are one. We don't get to pick and choose who that is. It's everyone. And I was thinking, like, if I was speaking one-on-one with someone, that's a lot of ones. How do you describe what it is to heal and to really surpass all the wrongs that have been done to you? How do you forgive a rapist? How do you forgive a murderer? How do you forgive a narcissist or sociopath that haunted you and hurt you and abused you emotionally for years? And the one most simple thing that I could actually say and know and believe, like 144%, you picture them as a child. You take yourself out of the equation, take your pain, and don't look at that part. Take yourself out of the equation, bring yourself above the bird's eye view, and you look at that person through the eyes of you being a child and them being a child. And you realize that abused people, and they perpetuate a cycle until when you know better, you do better. And it's so much easier after you see that. Everything that was the yucky stuff that hurt so much just becomes beautiful. There's no more blame. There's no more shame for things that happened. You kind of see the cycle for what it is, and with your heart you start to turn that cycle around because you stop hating yourself for letting a narcissist in your life for years and years. The pattern, anybody who's been through it or watched someone go through it, you actually do leave, and then you actually go back, and you have to forgive yourself for that. And once you've forgiven yourself for leaving and going back and leaving and going back, like it can be a years and years of cycles. It could be like years and years of different people, to what point that the pattern perpetuates itself in your life. Once you've forgiven yourself, and then when you can really take yourself out of the equation and just see that that person is still a soul, and that soul gets a chance too, that we are one. And this week especially, I said it this morning in a video, you cannot lie to yourself anymore. You can't pretend that you've forgiven everything you think you forgot or forgave, or that it's not a big deal if you have that one little thing left inside. It is going to come up. You want to label it the dark? Go ahead. If that makes you feel better, go ahead. But it's really you. It's really your shit that's coming to the surface. And you can spend this week going through fucking hell and think that next week it's going to get better because the full moon will be past and whatever will be in retrograde and blah blah blah. But the truth is that we've hit there's no return line. We got our downtime. We got the chance to purge. And when I say we, depending on where you're at, like if you're somebody who's just got the first awakening stuff happening within, then, yes, you might have that chance. But when I'm speaking we right now, I'm speaking to the people who have been here for a while, say they are light workers, say they are way showers, who believe they are part of the 1044. I'm not good at like long numbers. 144000. A lot of people like resonate with that. Now I'm part of that. Well, if you think you're part of that, if you know you're part of that, your downtime is over, baby. And you're lying to yourself, and you believing that you're healed and whole. You can't, push something under the rug anymore and say that it's okay. And the reason that you can't is because, we want to sit here and look at our wounds and say, like, like, awakening is hard, ascension is hard, and I need more time. But you got your time. And whether it was from since August of 2018 or from November 2012, what's with the creepy faces?
I'm a bunny.
Can you make a smile? Thanks, baby. Let me finish, okay? Because if you scare me again, I'll probably pee my pants. I'm wearing a dress, but still. It's because if you consider yourself a way shower, then and you are, if you consider yourself one, you are, well, then other people need you. All those people that you still have judgment of are the ones that are going to be coming to you for help. Unless you're being completely like displaced to a different location, those people that are around you that you consider sheep, or you did last week or last month, that are like fucking going bad shit like within the next week, thinking like, what the fuck, my whole world is turned upside down the way yours was, a year ago, 2 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever. And that's why the title label of way shower is there, because you're going to need to show the way. And the only way you can show the way, that's a lot of ways, is if you're really there.
Where do you put the taco tips?
I don't remember.
Where?
They're on the shelf where there's a lot of things that can fall over and break. Can I just finish this and get them for you?
What shelf?
In the kitchen, that brown shelf that we moved here, in the back, behind all the breakable stuff that's a decoration. Anyways, I think by now you already know what I mean without even hearing it again. And reach out. Get that helping hand from whoever you're guided to. Whether... Bravo! She found the chocolate chip stash. Reach out. You could have been brave all along and done it on your own. I think that part of what the unity that is in the air is, you know, that if you have those things that are aching at you, that by whoever you're guided to reach out to, you're going to be helping them as well. It's those pizza slices I keep on saying, those trinities. You feel like you're going down and losing your vibe, then whoever the first person that pops into your head is, reach out. Can you go it alone? Yes. Go for it. But a part of change and new world and a world of unity is trusting your brothers and sisters with your pain or your grief or your shedding. It really is. We've already lived whatever amount of years in chaos and darkness and being alone. So that's a ripple effect programming that can be changed from your choice. And, you know, I'm not gonna fucking say that I actually take my own advice. I said it in a video, I forget when, if it was yesterday or whenever, but when I went through my stuff on Saturday, when I said I went through it, I did not specifically reach out and email anybody. I specifically in my head was telling certain people, like, don't fucking email me right now. Don't fucking text me right now. Don't. Because the way that I roll, and depending on what people say, you gotta be really good and say the right thing. So instead, I went into comments and specifically engaged in conversations with specific people on Saturday, not saying like, oh my God, I'm like in the middle of fucking think I'm gonna fucking die in a panic attack, but expressing myself in a way that I got responses that fucking helped me pull out. So sometimes reaching out isn't 100% like emailing or texting someone. I just love it. Sometimes you don't have to say like, dude, I'm fucking drowning, like fucking grab my anchor. Oh my God, Lily Rose, I can barely remember what I want to say without you talking.
I put a lot of sprinkles by accident.
Who eats sprinkles? Fairies.
And some chips. Come on.
Whoever listens to me on YouTube knows you found the chocolate chip stash, baby. Yeah, sometimes it's not. Oh my God, sweetie. Geese.
This is about to get
It's really hard to stay focused sometimes, eh? Anyways, it's not that I didn't want to admit to how I felt. It's just that I know my pain can be sucked in ways that it just perpetuates more pain in me. So how I chose to reach out was more subtle, but in my way, I got the help that I needed by going towards the trigger people that in the comments and what we were talking about gave me enlightenment. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. I've been totally thrown off track by a Lily Rose train just slamming me. And there's chocolate chips and sprinkles like everywhere.
And chips.
And chips. I guess it's party time.
This time they're not chocolate. Get it, chocolate chips.
Get it? Chocolate chips? I get it. Anyways, maybe I won't even upload this one. I don't even know if it makes sense. We'll see.
Then why are you saying that?
I don't know
Nobody's
why I'm
gonna
saying
see
that.
it.
Nobody's going to see it. Who watches this anyway? Happy Moon Day. The boom started. I didn't forget what day. I emailed someone specifically. I could go back and check on my emails. He'll remember when I said the boom started. Maybe I should go back just date-wise. Get the numbers. The numbers don't lie. The boom started. The fire's been lit. If you need more signals than that, I don't know. Enjoy this week. Enjoy.